What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. We're officially back for a Hot Take Tuesday. Episode 28 of Season 2 is officially here. We're ready to rock and roll with a couple of our hot takes that we got from our Discord server. Great community, great place to be. Remember, we do a giveaway at the end of every month on the last Tuesday, the last Hot Take Tuesday episode of every month, starting next month. So join that Discord, drop some hot takes, be entered into a giveaway. It's an easy way to win a $25 gift card, or, really the main thing is just to be part of a great community and a great place. A lot of great people talking football, talking whatever, everything really. So that's all I got for the intro. I'd like to get into the actual video now. And the first hot take we have is from Joshua Kissinger. He says the Indianapolis Colts will sweep the Tennessee Titans. So the Colts already got a win on the Titans earlier on this season. It was a pretty close game. It was, I believe that was a game where Anthony Richardson went down, and that was it for him for the year. Obviously, he tore a muscle in his shoulder, he tore something in his shoulder. It was like an AC joint or something, I believe. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it took him out for the rest of the year, and obviously he won't be back for next year. So until next year. So Colts sweep the Titans. This is there's a lot to go through for this game. So Gardner Minshew, it was the first game he really played. He actually looked pretty good in that game. He's had some good games here and there, but he has turned the ball over a lot. He hasn't looked great. He hasn't looked absolutely horrible, but he has not really been, the game changer. He's not really been a quarterback that has been the reason why we win any games. He's kind of made it difficult to win games at some points, but some games he's made it easier to win. It's just kind of what a backup quarterback is. He's going to give you a chance to win every game, but he's also not going to be the reason why you win nor lose. So the chances of the Indianapolis Colts beating the Titans a second time around are pretty slim, I think. Especially considering you're going to Tennessee. The Titans just play so much better at home. I'm not sure what it is. When they travel and they're go to a completely different stadium, different place, they play horrible. They're a completely different team at home. Will Levis has looked pretty good, and I see a lot of people calling for Mike Vrabel's job. I say, cool out, calm down. I like Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel is a good head coach. I don't see anything wrong with him. It's just, the 1 year he doesn't have great talent. It's kind of like a retooling type of a year. He's having a bad year. People are already calling for his job. I think he has his team playing better than what they really are, and that's what a great coach does, just like Shane Steichen is doing with the Colts. But Gardner Minshew, now that he's had a lot more games in this system with Shane Steichen, the tape is out on the offense. And we saw this offense has started to play to its talent level. It's starting to slow down. It really struggled versus the Patriots. You only scored 10 points versus a poor defense in the Patriots. You really only scored 13 points versus the Panthers. You had 2 pick sixes, 2 defensive touchdowns. The offense has not really been there. And we don't have Grover Stewart this time around either. Derrick Henry, they ran the ball all right on us. I remember Tajay Spears had a big run on us, but now you don't have Grove. The running defense has not actually been there. You really struggle versus the Patriots. The Panthers can't really do too much, to be honest with you, to begin with. But to be quite honest with you, I don't think the Colts are going to sweep the Titans. I think they're probably going to lose this game because the Titans, when at home, their defense is one of the better ones. They have really good run defense, and that's kind of what the Colts want to do. Colts if they can't get the run game going, they're not going to get the passing game going. Even when they do get the run game going, it's still tough to get the passing game going because Gardner Minshew he's just not it. He's just not the answer, and that's why he's a backup. That's what he was signed to be in case something happens. And perfect example of something happening. So it's in Tennessee. It's really difficult to beat a division rival two times in a row, and we're not a great football team. We're not very good. Even though we are 5-5, we're really not that good of a football team, to be honest with you. So the Colts sweeping the Titans, I'm going to go hot. I'm going to say it's unlikely they beat the Titans a second time around. Like I said, when a team has a second shot at it, when they're at home, it's a division rival, it's very rare to sweep an opposing division rival. But the Titans did it against us for a couple of years in a row, so could we maybe get a streak going against them? But I don't think so. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're going to drop one to the Titans here and go to 5-6. Well, no, because we play the Bucs first, and then I believe we go to the Titans or Bengals, and then the Titans maybe. I don't know. I feel like the Titans game is a couple weeks away yet, so it's still a little too early to tell. Maybe there might be a couple of injuries by then. We don't know. But saying that the Colts will sweep the Tennessee Titans, I am going to go hot. Not piping hot, hot where it's pretty unlikely just because of division rivals and everything I listed previously. Next hot take is from SilverSabs. The Bills catch on to the Chiefs' strategy. I love my spelling. Strategy against the Eagles, yet still lose by 2 scores. Hold on, Cowboy. The Eagles are a very good football team, yeah. And I think a lot of people are going to be looking at this game and be like, yeah, the Eagles should probably win this game pretty comfortably. Hold on, Cowboys. I don't think so. The Bills are a very good football team. The Eagles are a very good football team. A lot of people are looking at the Bills right now. Yeah, okay, they beat up on the Jets, okay. But I'm looking at that as how many teams have beaten the Jets like that this year? How many? Let me be honest with you. What was it? The Cowboys that beat them the most comfortably? Probably. Feels like the Jets have kept every game very close. Versus the Chiefs, they almost beat the Chiefs. They beat the Bills in the beginning of the year. They gave the Eagles a tough time, who, the Bills are playing this weekend. And the Bills just crushed the Jets. They crushed them. It wasn't even close. Domination on all 3 phases of the game. And the Bills' defense is getting healthy. Joe Brady has his offense playing at a much, much, much better level than they were previously. Immediate difference. And the Jets aren't a great football team. They have a really good defense. They've one of the better defenses in the league, but the defense can only get you so far. And at a certain part in the season, that defense will get worn out. They will get tired, and they will start playing like crap. So maybe it was a little bit of both, of the Jets defense just showing signs of being worn out, or the Bills just kind of getting it going offensively because Ken Dorsey's gone, so you have a new face at OC. And we typically see when you have someone stepping up, offensive coordinator or head coach or defensive coordinator, that entire team, that offense or defense, wherever the coach is stepping up to, typically that side of the ball, that team has a much better game than they usually do. But I will say, Ken Dorsey's offense was very predictable. He wasn't letting Josh Allen play to his strengths. Playing to Josh Allen's strengths, under center, letting him improvise and, kind of be under pressure and get things figured out himself. He's kind of the best in that way. Sometimes he plays a little bit too much of a hero ball, and it does show, and it does screw them up. And sometimes it's more bad than good. But Josh Allen finally had that game last week. And the Bills, it seems like they always have that stretch in this season where they don't look like a good football team. Everyone's questioning them. But then they pop out of it, and they beat a team that they probably shouldn't beat. But the Bills are a very good football team. They're still very good. They're going to make a second half of the season run at it. Now, the schedule isn't the easiest. But I think that's all the more to get excited about it and see that they could beat some of these football teams. Now, they're in Philadelphia. That's a big L. That's going to make it much more difficult because Philadelphia is a very tough place to play. Really, really hostile environment. I've been there. I've physically been there. But the Bills should not lose by more than 2 scores, by 2 scores or more. It will be a close game. It should be a close game. The Bills are a very good football team, and when we see now the Eagles' passing defense finally had a good game, a better game. But the Eagles' passing defense has been one of the worst in the league, right? And let's not pretend that there wasn't a big drop late in the game. Let's not pretend that there wasn't a drop where MVS dropped a wide open pass which would have won the game. Patrick Mahomes put it right in the breadbasket. Perfect pass, beautiful pass, and everything. But MVS couldn't bring it in. MVS couldn't get the job done. And there were multiple times yesterday where receivers and even Travis Kelce had a very uncharacteristic drop in 3rd and short. Justin Watson dropped it on 4th and 25. Now, to be honest with you, that's a really tough catch to make, but it was in his hands. And there's a reason why I'm sitting here critiquing these players. It's kind of what I do. It's kind of what I love to do. I study the game of football. There's a reason why I'm sitting here and talking about football and not playing it. I understand that, and I know it's not easy, but when that ball is in your hands from someone that evaluates the game of football, when that ball is in your hands, there's no excuses on why you can't come down with that. I get it. There were 3 other Eagles around you. There were many Eagles defenders around you getting ready to hit you, and that's not easy to do. It's tough to concentrate on it, but it was in his hands. That's the kind of ball that you have to bring in. If it's in your hands, there's no excuses on why you can't catch it. Bottom line. It doesn't matter how tough the coverage is. It doesn't matter how many players are around you. If that ball is physically in both hands, there's no reason why it can't be caught. No reason why. It should 100% of the time. But it's not going to be caught 100% of the time. Drops are part of the game. They happen. And, a rare drop here, here and there isn't the end of the world. But when you have guys dropping passes all day long, when you have MVS, or, I don't remember if it was MVS or I think it was Kadarius Toney maybe, stumbling and trying to turn, a different way on a long route when all you had to do was keep running and you would have caught it in stride. These receivers just aren't really in sync with Patrick Mahomes. They're not really in sync with each other. So the Eagles caught a lot of breaks yesterday. They certainly did. But let's not forget that the Chiefs were down 10 points and the Eagles didn't amount a 10-point comeback. But the Chiefs were able to run them pretty well. Now, the Eagles have the same keys to win every single game. Run the football, help Jalen Hurts, make sure he doesn't turn the ball over, and the defense to get after your quarterback and suffocate your quarterback. And once the Eagles are up, they're just going to pound the football. That's it, and you can't stop it. And you better hope that the game does not come down to a 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1. Because they're going to do that stupid darn tush push. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. But as we've seen in the first half there, when you don't get into those 3rd and 4th and shorts, they need to find more consistent ways than just that to convert. Because there's going to be that one time where it doesn't work. There's going to be that couple of times where it doesn't work. It's annoying. It absolutely is. It's ridiculous. But it is what it is. And they're going to keep doing it as long as they're put in those situations. So teams just have to keep them out of those situations. And it's much easier said than done. Now, I think, there's got to be some kind of lack of confidence, though, in this team. Because in the Eagles from the coaching. Because if you look at what happened yesterday, right? It was 2nd down. And there were still like 4 minutes left to go in the game, I believe. The Eagles, it was like 2nd down and 1, and they did and they did the push. Why not take a shot downfield to really get that, to really get down the field and maybe make it a multiple possession game? Why not? Because you're playing Patrick Mahomes, you never know what's going to happen. I feel like that would have been the much better decision there. I feel like there's a little bit of a lack of confidence. Like once you get into those 3rd and shorts, just get it. But that's also another thing where, if it's 3rd and short, 4th and short, you kind of just want to get it. You kind of just want to convert and not take any chances. But sometimes chances are the way you win. But the Eagles, hey, they're 9-1. They're doing the job right. But point is, they shouldn't beat the Bills by 2 possessions. They're not going. I don't see it. The Bills are a very good football team. I understand they haven't had a good stretch this season, but Josh Allen, this offense just hit their stride last week versus a Jets defense. A Jets passing defense, which is actually one of the better in the leagues, but the Eagles passing defense is one of the worst in the leagues. And, with all those receivers being open yesterday, the drops, they're not playing Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, Rashee Rice, and MVS this upcoming week. You know what they're playing? They're playing a quarterback that's just as good. Well, no, he's not just as good as Patrick Mahomes. Let's not say that, but he's definitely in the upper echelon of quarterbacks. He's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. But he could really run that football well. He's hitting his stride. And let's look at some of the weapons he has. Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, and the receivers. Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis. And one of the most underrated receivers in the league right now is Khalil Shakir. I love Khalil Shakir. He is absolutely killing it. He's a dog. He's been a dog so far this year. He's not being talked about enough, though. I really like Khalil Shakir. He's fast. He's shifty. Seems like he's getting open on big-time downs. So, don't go into this game just looking at the Bills. Oh, they're not as good as they usually are. They're just hitting their stride. They always have that stretch where they don't play that good. I don't think the Bills are going to continue to lose much. They're going to start winning. And I know they have a tough schedule, but the Bills are going to get it going. Are they going to beat the Eagles? I don't know. I'm still have to look more to the matchup. And I don't want to give my predictions away before I do my prediction video, but I'm telling you, man, the Bills, they're going to catch on. They're going to get it eventually. And it's not going to be as easy as a game as Eagles fans think. The Bills are a very good football team. You underestimate them, the Bills are going to win. We'll see. We'll see. But winning by 2 scores, I'm going to go hot. I say it's likely maybe to get a late score, maybe to get a score late in the game, but I think it's very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. All right. Next up on the Hot Take Tuesday list, last but not least, head of the table 23. CJ Stroud will have a comeback game, and the Texans will blow out the Jaguars and win Sunday to lead the division, the AFC South. We've all been waiting for this moment, including the Texans fans especially. Texans haven't been a good team for so long. Even with Watson, they were on and off. You kind of felt the ceiling with Watson. With CJ Stroud, I'm gonna go out and put out a bold take myself. CJ Stroud, halfway through his rookie season, has looked better than what Deshaun Watson ever was in Houston. Deshaun Watson was very good at one point. I had him in my top 5. He absolutely deserved to be in the top 5. He was that darn good of a quarterback. He was impressive. But I think CJ Stroud, comparing CJ Stroud to the Watson in Houston a couple years ago when he was at his best, I'd take CJ Stroud right now. CJ Stroud continues to play the way he is, I'd take Stroud 100%. But he did have a rough game last week. The Texans had a rough game last week. And you know what? Last week for the Texans, they showed me something that I see from great teams. This is usually a sign of a great football team. When a team struggles, you struggle all game long. You make mistakes all day long. You throw 3 interceptions. And they still found a way to win. That's impressive. That's a sign of a really good football team. Jaguars, they've won games and struggled, but I feel like they have struggled on a different level. You know what I mean? The Jaguars they're so inconsistent. They're kind of like, Trevor Lawrence is like the poor man's version of Josh Allen. He's much worse than Josh Allen. Trevor Lawrence is good. He's not great. He's not awesome. I wouldn't even say he's above average. I would say he is good. He's average. And, the issue with it is he's so darn inconsistent. And the lows are much lower. Well, the lows are longer than the highs. You see more lows than highs. When Trevor Lawrence is playing at his best, when he's playing his best football, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's that good when he's playing, when he's on his game. But that seems so far and in between, it's not even funny. The game he had versus the Titans, that's probably the best game he had this season. And he's been inconsistent. I think he has a total of 12 touchdowns now. He had 2 rushing touchdowns. Yeah, 2 rushing touchdowns this past week. 2 passing touchdowns. Good completion percentage. Good yardage. But he's so inconsistent. It seems like he beats up on really bad offensive teams. I'm not gonna say poorly coached teams, just really bad defensive teams. He beats up on them. Like, every time he plays the Colts, he kills the Colts. Well, the Colts defense kind of sucks, to be honest with you. The Titans defense on the road sucks. And, it's a good matchup for the Jaguars and the Titans. The Titans aren't good. If you could launch the ball deep downfield, you should be fine against the Titans. You should be able to put up points. But they've been too inconsistent. And a team, they're going to Houston this week. They struggled at home against Houston. Now, don't forget, let's make this connection. That offense looked like dog crap versus the Niners, right? In week 1, or not week 1, the first week that the Texans and the Jaguars faced off, Jaguars offense didn't look that good either. Where's DeMeco Ryans from? San Fran. He runs a very similar system. Is it the scheme really what Trevor Lawrence struggles against? Is it the scheme? And, I'm not talking down the Texans players. The Texans have some really talented players. They have playmakers all over the field. playmaking defense, playmaking offense. And all this is important to the game, 100%. You know, it's pointing to what kind of Jaguars team are we going to get. We typically know what we're going to get, where we are going to get from CJ Stroud so far. Stroud has been a beast. He's been one of the better quarterbacks in the league. There have been whispers of him in the MVP conversation as an MVP candidate, as he should be, If the Texans make the playoffs, win the division, and win a playoff game, CJ Stroud should 100% be the MVP. CJ Stroud has shown more than Trevor Lawrence in 2.5 years. No, Trevor Lawrence has shown more, or CJ Stroud has shown more than Trevor Lawrence in a half a year than what Lawrence has done in 2.5 years. It's sad. I mean, I just don't see the generational play in Trevor Lawrence like other people are still like delusional to seeing. I don't know where people are seeing the great play from Trevor Lawrence. I think Travis Etienne and the running game has really lifted this team to a different level. Really has. It hasn't been, Trevor Lawrence hasn't been the main reason. He's been a big reason a couple of games, not all of them. I don't know what it is with Lawrence. I don't know what it is, but he's so inconsistent. His accuracy isn't consistent. His footwork, it's just, Trevor Lawrence just isn't consistent. Like I said, when he is playing really good, he is good. And it depends on what Jaguars defense we're going to get then. This Jaguars defense has had their bright moments. They've had their bad moments. We saw week 1, or the first week the Texans and Jaguars played, CJ Stroud ripped this defense apart. And the Texans have some good receivers, too. It's not like it's not like the Jaguars got beat up by bad receivers. They were good receivers. Thankyou has been awesome. Robert Woods is a great veteran. He makes big-time plays every week. Nico Collins has been a good receiver this year. He has broken out. And this team is only getting better. The Texans are hot. The Jaguars, they're hot, but they're inconsistent hot. They're like, what are they? What are you going to get this week? And that's the kind of team that doesn't typically have long-term success. That's the type of team that doesn't make a deep playoff run or a playoff run that you want, that you're expecting. The Jaguars are a good football team. They're not great. The Texans, I'd say they're a little short of great. But considering, like I said, great football, a sign of a great football team is when they play a game where they make mistakes all day long. They struggle all day long, but then they find a way to win at the end. And the Texans did that last week. Don't forget, they beat the Bengals a couple weeks ago. Very good football team. When's the last time the Jaguars played a really good football team? They got absolutely murdered, manhandled. Wasn't even close. So CJ Stroud will have a comeback game. He's going to have a better game than last week. I'd say yes, absolutely. I'd go cold. I would say that's likely. And then blowing out the Jaguars, I'm going to go with hot. Oh, jeez. I'm going to go with hot. I say they don't blow them out. I say it'll be a really good game. I still don't even know who I'm going to pick for this game. This is a tough game to predict, really. Because it's a matter of fact of predicting on what Jaguars team you get. You're getting from the Texans, and that makes it easier to pick the Texans. So just picking the Texans straight up, picking the Texans to win, I'm going to go warm. I think it's... I'm going to go in the middle. I'm not going to say it's unlikely or likely. It's just going to be a very good football game. Very tough football game. It's a coin flip. But, yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this Tuesday night's episode of Hot Take Tuesday, of this week's episode of Hot Take Tuesday. Episode 28 of Season 2 is officially coming to a close. And if you guys enjoyed this week's, make sure you like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on so you won't see any future videos. It's a great place to be. Join that Discord. Remember, starting next month, we will be doing giveaways on the last Hot Take Tuesday of every month. So make sure you join that Discord. It's one of the only ways to get in there. Or if you become a member, that's the other way to automatically be put in. But you want to join that Discord server, drop hot takes, and we're going to provide a point system. So if you provide more hot takes, or if you do something like that throughout the month, the more hot takes you provide, the better chance you have of winning. We'll find a way to get you some better chance of winning. So yeah, that's all I got from you guys today. Thank you for tuning in to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where your fans welcome. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on for any future videos. This is the JDW Sports Talk Show, signing off.